What's going on, y'all? This is James Blake's the Barber. I have a video for you today. I wanted to showcase my talents and just show you guys my process going through cutting some locks off. So, I'm a Chicagoland barber. I've been cutting for 14 years, licensed. I have a mobile barber shop that I cut out of, and I go all over Chicagoland area. This is my guy, Darnell Wright, right here, right in his driveway. Gave him a nice cut, razor lining. We got Andrew Billings. It's my guy as well. He's a dog defensive player. He's a 10-year vet at this point, man. Great guy to know. It's a low fade I did on him. Same thing, right in his driveway. I bring the service right to you. Hot towel, everything, you know. This is DJ Moore. He's a dog as well. Wide receiver. Same thing, man. Coming right to their driveway, giving them cuts, getting them cleaned up, ready for the game. This is a picture here of him and his family. I'm showing this picture also because I cut little DJ as well, the little guy holding the football. This is the subject in conversation today, Zacch Pickens. Let's get into it. All right, bro, so we cutting it all off, huh?
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay, so as we get into this, I'm gonna break down a couple things for you just so that you can understand my process in cutting his locks off. It was a little, I guess you could say, intense for the both of us. You'll see, you can look in his eyes and tell he was a little, I guess you could say, emotional about this. I sure was as well because, you know, I never look forward to cutting anyone's locks off. And this was actually my first time, but I never, it's not something that I look forward to doing. You see, I have locks, they're pretty long. I cherish my hair. You know, I know that everybody doesn't want to continue to have locks forever. I don't think I will have locks forever. I don't want to, but right now, I love my hair and I don't plan on cutting it off anytime soon. But anyway, as you see here, I'm going through cutting them piece by piece because it's a pivotal moment for the both of us. I've been doing this hair for maybe like 3 years now. So just to cut them, it just felt weird, you know. It just felt a little weird, but it was a cool experience. You see him smiling and everything. I think he was just ready for a change, you know. But it's also hard at the same time because it's something that you put patience into. And, you know, I'm sure he loved his hair and everything. But like I said in the beginning of the video, his locks were thin. Some of them would be, you know, a good size, and then you get into like on the sides, it'd be a little bit thinner. And just so that I give you guys some background, before I met Zacch and I was cutting his hair, he had other locticians and, you know, he had been through, you know, the draft and training and all of that. So his hair kind of, you know, it went through it a little bit. It did. You know, he had just a lot of, not like build up or anything. He just had a lot of locks that needed to be fixed. So I spent a lot of time, you know, just making sure everything was fixed and maintained well. But yeah, at this point, it was just time for him to go. Now, I do want to explain something here. When you see me cut him, I am cutting new growth, or pretty much almost like at the lock, like where it's locked. I didn't want to cut anything that was, short, because I didn't want to put any patches in his head. Okay, so now that I've cut all the locks off, I'm gonna hand those over to Ronnie, his fiance, because she's sitting right behind the camera. And then we're gonna go ahead and get this cut started. So he's looking for like an even all over haircut, tapers on the sides and the back. He's keeping the beard. I'm gonna fade the beard into the cut, just at the top. Pretty much keep the length of the beard. I'm not gonna really cut anything off, just shape it up. Now, another thing I want to stress is that, especially dealing with any black guy with hair that is kinky, is curly, or whatever you want to call it, nappy, whatever, spray his hair. Don't go picking his head and it's dry. All you're gonna do is cause more breakage and more stress to his scalp. That's gonna hurt him. You don't want to do that. It's a haircut. It's not supposed to be a painful experience. So I'm picking his hair out now. I'll get it all picked out. This is also to prevent patches. And it's also to help my clippers go through his head smoothly. One thing I do want to add is that using a pick, you're not using the whole pick. You're not gonna use all the teeth, like the whole tooth of the pick. You're gonna use probably about 1/4 of the actual pick. So it's better to have a long one. That way, I don't know, it just, something about it just works a little bit better for me. I've always liked using the longer picks. That way I can go through and pick it out. If you use a shorter pick, sometimes it might be a little bit harder if the hair is longer. So, all right, now what I've done is I put on here, this is like a 3.5 guard. I just wanted to pick a real high guard so that I could go through and knock all of the weight down. I'm trying to even it all out, but I'm going against the grain just so that we can get everything as even as possible. And that's against the grain with a very high guard, or not a very high guard, but a high guard. That's a 3.5. And like I said, the reason for this is to even out everything, the long hair and the short hair, because it's gonna cut a little bit of the short hair on the sides while cutting a lot of the hair on the top. And that's gonna bring everything even. But especially if you're a barber, you gotta know, you gotta take into account of cowlicks. He has one right in the front of his head, literally right in the middle of his lining in the front. So you might see me go down on that instead of going up. Like basically I'll go against the grain, but it looks like I'm going with the grain. That's just because his cowlick in the front is right there, and I just want to get everything even. So yeah, we'll go ahead and do that now. And as you see, my clippers are gliding through. It's not snagging, it's not hurting him at all. Just going right through his hair. And that's because I sprayed it with water. I rubbed the water into his hair first, and then I picked his hair out. Okay, so at this point I'm done basically debulking. I guess you could say that. I went through, evened it all out. Now, I'm not gonna leave it at this length. That was just for me to get it all even. And to be able to cut the high and the low at the same time and not do a chop job. So I love to comb through the hair because I just feel like it helps organize everything. You see which way the hair grows. I remember being in barber school. The first step, other than client consultation, excuse me, you want to comb through the hair. The combing of the hair helps you see any, let's say if he had a mole on his head, or if he had a bald spot or something, or just anything. Even if he had like something bad in his head, which he didn't have any like ringworms, anything. But yeah, if he had like a ringworm or something, you'd be able to catch that now, before you get too deep into it. And so, yeah, I always say just comb through and just to see how the hair is growing, which direction it's growing. That way you'll know like what you can do with it. So that's usually how I would start out every cut. I'm brushing it down just to help it lay down more. His hair was pretty soft and it was able to lay down already. He had just washed his hair as well, so I didn't really have to worry about like anything like dandruff or dirt or anything. And his hair is never really that dirty. So yeah, just going through, making sure everything lines up well, making sure everything looks well. The reason I just brushed against the grain a little bit in the front is because of that cowlick, because that has to be brushed a totally different direction, just so that it can look full, because if not, it looks crazy. Okay, so right here, you're gonna see me switch to a 1.5. I went ahead and switched that because we're gonna take the hair down again. I'm gonna go with his growth pattern, just real quick, knock it all down, and get it to the level that we're gonna keep it at. And what you'll see me do here is follow the growth pattern as well as I can. So I'm going down, and this is why I combed, because you'll see at some points you'll see me curve and go off to the side. That's because that's the way his hair is flowing, and I want to cut it with the grain. So that means I need to cut it in the direction that it flows or grows to. So that's what you'll see now, and that's me evening everything out. And then after this, I'm gonna switch to a different clipper, and I'm gonna show you guys what my next steps would be as far as like doing my tapers and everything. I try to not bounce back and forth between clippers. I've seen some barbers cut where they have 5 clippers for one cut. If I could just use one clipper on this cut right here, I would. But the problem is, and everybody knows this, detachables are usually pretty powerful. So for me to debulk, it's easier to just use these and just knock all of that bulk down and just glide right through with the metal blade. Another thing I might add is that I don't use guards. Every clipper I use has a metal blade, and I go off of the metal blades only. There's one cut where you might see me use a guard, and that's because I don't have in my possession like a 4 or a 5 metal blade. I think I've seen them in the stores, but I just haven't bought one. So like that's just for like a buzz cut, buzz it at like a 3 or 4, and then you go from there and fade the sides. So that's the only time I've used a guard in the last few years. Other than that, it's all metal blades for me. Right here, you'll see me put that down, and I'm gonna pick up my next clipper. My next clipper is a Andis Revite. It's a detachable pivot clipper. So it's like the master pivot clipper, but then also like the detachables. There's so many different ones, the Envy, or whatever you want, Supras, whatever you want to use. I'm an Andis barber. I've been using Andis since I started cutting when I was like 15 years old. I just never switched off. I saw other barbers use Wall and stuff like that, but I started using Andis, and it's just been reliable. That old faithful T outliner and the master, they just did what I needed them to do. Honestly, that's just all it is. I got a pair of the XL2s as well, the detachables. That was my first detachable. Then I went to the Supras, and now I got I think it's called the Envy. But yeah, I'm pretty basic when it comes to that, because I don't like to have like a bunch of clippers. I don't want to be that barber that has like a real super heavy case. If anything, my case is gonna be heavy because I have a lot of supplies, meaning I have different like clippers, trimmers, and I'll have, my razors and products and things like that. You won't see me with a whole lot of clippers. I'll just keep 2 of each, and that's it. That's all I need. Okay, so here you'll see me do some more prep. This is gonna help later on as far as like when I do his lining. I don't need to spray liquid razor or anything. He's already had mousse in his hair. So that's gonna lay it down. That's gonna help me get a sharp lining, especially once it dries. Because after this, I brush, then I do a hot towel, and then I probably brush and blow dry. And then I'll get to the tapers and the lining after that. I'll also shape his beard while he's sitting up, and then I'll lay him back. I'll probably shake the bottom of his beard while he lays back, just so he's not having to look up while he's sitting straight up. And then I'll go in with the razor after that. Okay, so I disinfected my liners. I'm gonna brush them off, make sure all the loose hair is off of them. Shouldn't be any anyways. I always clean my clippers before and after the client. You're gonna see me go ahead and spray his beard now. I always try to stress anybody with a coarse beard or any black man, spray the man's beard, man. Spray his head. Don't start going in with a comb or a pick on some dry hair and dry skin, because that's gonna hurt. They might even try to power through it. He might try to be a man. Ooh, it don't hurt. No, it hurts, bro. It's uncomfortable. Don't do that. Yeah. So I stepped away for a second. I had to go refill my spray bottle with some water. Like I said, I have a mobile hair studio with running water, shampoo bowl, hot towels. There's even a bathroom in there too. It's all set up pretty nice. As you see, after I sprayed it and the water set for a couple seconds, the pick goes right through his beard. Makes it super easy. And I feel like it helps the cut too. Okay, so with my trimmers, I'm gonna do a line of demarcation for the tapers on the sides and the back, so the neck taper. I'm gonna clean up the neck hair as well. Make sure he don't have like no excessive like hair or anything like that growing, because a lot of guys will have hair growing on the sides of their neck and stuff like that. Just want to get all of that. You even check the ears, man. Check the ears, see if you see hair there, get that hair off real quick. It makes a difference. Your client will like that. They will appreciate it. So what you see me do right there is just take my Revite. I took the fat blade and I snapped that on. And then what you'll see here is me starting open. And I'll go in and I'll start to establish my taper. What I'm doing right here is just starting, basically creating that highest point so that when I work my way from down up with the taper, I don't have a bunch of hair to knock off at the top of the taper. Also, my fat blade is set to about a 1.5. So when you see me combing down with the blade, that's just to debulk some more and make sure everything is clean. And then with this, you'll see me switch from this blade to my fade blade and my phase blade. Those are two different blades. The fade blade is super duper thin. You can almost bald out with that. I wouldn't necessarily do it because it's not gonna be a completely bald look. So I would use the trimmers or, some foil shavers if you have those, just to get that super bald look. I also, what you just saw me do there was I like to do the beard taper with the fat blade as well. So I'll take that, open it up, and I'll comb down. And I'll do that and I create that C motion, which you'll see right there. And that gives you that slope on the beard. And it helps give it a nice shape. And then I'll close it. Same thing, go through, taper the beard. I like to use, like I said, I like to use the clippers for many different things so that I'm not pulling out different clippers every time. Like I said before, if I could, I would use the same clipper for the whole cut. And with these Revites, I mean, you could, because they have like a little like trimmer blade that comes with it, but it's a little too big, and then also it's powerful, and I just don't want to cut anybody's skin up, so I try to just not do that. I like to go in with the trimmers because you can detail with the trimmers. That's the same thing that you see here as well, as far as the debulking and stuff. I'll go through, comb down, and then I'll flick up, and there's always that C motion of like you go in and you come out, go in, you come out. And with this fat blade being rounded, it has that round, that fat edge, that helps for you to do that C motion and create that taper. Okay, so this just shows you how I do my tapers and how they turn out. As you can see here, I went in and tapered it all up. We got the side taper, got the beard taper as well. It's all faded pretty well, pretty smooth. Next, you'll see me go in right here. Like I said, this is all with the fat blade. At this point, I haven't even moved to going in with the other two blades yet. It's really just using that fat blade and debulking, and then also getting my taper to where it needs to be. So what you see right there, that's a form of like debulking. I feel like the area is still a little too dark, so I just go through with the fat blade and comb through, as well as cut down the bulk. also started to just go ahead and take the fat blade and just run it through the whole head, because like I said, it's at a 1.5. That's what the detachable blade was as well. What I'm doing here is just getting any loose hairs that I see, because as you look over the head, you'll see that some hairs might have been missed through the clipper. So you just go through and comb it through and you knock it all down, and it comes out super even and super clean. Okay, so at this point now I'm taking a line out, and that line is from my liners. One thing that I want to make clear is that I don't know if you guys could tell, but it was like an upward motion. I still use that same C motion to bald out, because I hate to see barbers go down. They make a harsh line that you cannot get out. And you can see it. Anybody else that knows what they're looking at, they can see that. So right here, you'll see me go in, because I have a soft line to take out. I'll go through, and this is with my fade blade. So in theory, I'll break it down for you. I go 3, 1, 2. So I go with the highest blade, the biggest one, to take off a lot of bulk and do a lot of the top part of the fade first. Then I go bottom and I take the line out. I open those up, and then I graduate to that middle section to where you want to have it be super blurry. Then I'll take my phase blade. I'll pop that on, and then that'll be my middle point of the fade for each taper. Okay guys, so right here I'm just using my phase blade, and I'm doing the middle part of the taper. So you'll see me just go through and make it extra blurry right here. I usually do this after the fade blade. So I'll get the line out with the fade blade, and I'll get to the point where I'm coming up and it's open. After that, then I'll come in with maybe like halfway open phase blade, and then the rest is open. And I'll clean that area up. So you'll see me do that. And then after that, I'll just get into the lining. So yeah, at this point, you're just seeing me clean up everything. I'm just double checking, just going through the motions and getting everything cleaned up, getting everything as blurry as I can. Next, you'll see me grab the liners. I'll use a little bit of that spray, maybe just for certain parts of the lining that I feel need to be prepped. And that's the liquid razor spray. I'll go through, spray that, brush it, and then blow dry it, get the hair to lay down, and then once it's dry, I go in with my liners and line everything up. So I always cover the person's ears and their eyes and everything, because I don't want to be spraying this in their eyes or in their ears or anything like that, because it does contain alcohol, and also uh, it gets like hard. It hardens up. You just don't want that stuff to be in your eyes or your ears. It's just weird. So you'll see me now just go through and blow dry and prep everything for the lining. Unfortunately, my phone died right here, so you won't get to see me use my liners and, just create that boxed lining. But you'll see the end product right here. Okay, guys, so here we go. End product. Nice clean cut, even all over, tapered the sides and the back. We got a nice fade on the beard, shaped up nice and well. Razor lining. We all good to go. Ready for the season. There he is right there, standing up in the bus. No dreads here. James Blake's the barber. Come on, y'all. It's always good when your clients shout you out. Follow me on Instagram.